Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker. I am Frank Trigg. This is Scott Jorgensen getting ready to fight Urijah Faber. The matchup that I've kind of been thought was going to happen, in the past a while ago, and never really came to fruition. But now it's actually going to come together. I'm pretty excited about this fight personally, just because it's two guys I really, really like at the lighter divisions. Like two guys I think that really bring it. And from a fan standpoint, it's a huge fight. How do you see it?
It is the big. You're right. And I both top of one. The catch is, and probably why you didn't see us wish for this fight earlier is, we're good buddies. We've
over there. Frank Trigg sitting here. Scott is getting ready to fight Urijah Faber coming up here on April 13th. This is a huge deal. This is a very big deal from a fan standpoint. It's a fight that I wanted to see for a long time. How come you guys didn't fight sooner? It just didn't come. It just didn't happen, or was there another reason why you guys just didn't battle off against each other?
Well, this fight, it's been in the works, I guess, for a while. I know a lot of people have asked for it and they've wanted it, but it got a little more complicated. Urijah and I have been friends for a really long time. He's the one that actually kind of convinced me into fighting, got me into the sport, and I first started training. When I first started fighting, I was out there in Sacramento a lot with training, just learning. And, we have the same manager, things like that. And so as we both reached the top of the division, and I made it to the top of 135 and he dropped down, it became apparent that, in the future we were going to probably end up fighting. And we always hoped it was for a title, for something real big. And so that's why neither one of us pushed for it hard. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you probably would have saw this fight happen a little bit earlier. But, now that we both are where we're at, we fought everybody at the top. It just kind of made sense. So we both kind of bit the bullet and said yes. There was no complaining about it. We both know what we do. We're professionals. We're going to go in there and, we're going to handle business. And, we did it all through wrestling. Both of us are wrestlers. We did it all through wrestling, competing against friends. So it's nothing new.
And this is one of the things that I like to say about, I have a real hard time with this new attitude of I won't fight my teammate, I won't fight my friend. But these guys, like AKA did it for a long time where none of these guys would fight each other. They're all teammates, they're all friends, but they're all old wrestlers. We all, as wrestlers, had to compete against our best friend in the semifinals to make it to the finals of a tournament. It's just how it happened. We would have to compete against our main training partner in the quarterfinals, the guy that we work out with, 3 times a day, every day, to get through the finals. It just was part of what happens. You guys are going to make this a business. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. Someone's going to make more money than the other guy. Someone's going to have more endorsements than the other guy. Someone's going to rise up. Someone's going to fall down. That's how the sport goes. But you two are still going to remain friends afterward. How do you keep that kind of mentality to keep it from trash talking and trying to, I don't want to say it, but playing the Nick Diaz card where you have to hate everybody to fight him? Like, how do you play that card? That's just Urijah. We're going to have a good fight. I might cut him. He might cut me. That's just the way it's going to be.
It goes back to the wrestling thing, man. Like you said, I wrestled my business partner, my best friend off my freshman year of college all year long for the starting position. I wrestled buddies in the finals and the tournaments, first rounds. It didn't matter, and you just get used to it. And I'm still friends with him now. My business partner that I wrestled off in college, we own a gym together. We train together every day. We've been buddies for the last, 15 years. In high school we were always at a different weight. His senior year, our last duel of the season, I bumped up just to get a match against him. Just to get a match against a friend. So
wow, really, you take it that like I want to get a match against you because I like your style. I want to see someone bump up and see what happens.
Yeah, he's always been a tough kid. His name is Jesse Brock, multiple-time Pac-10 champion for Boise State. And so I want to fight the best. Urijah is one of the best, and we both going into this is it's just business. It's a sport, and we're competitors at heart, and we want to see who the best is on in the real world, and go take care of it. And then after, I think even our after parties plan to be together, hang out, and
that's great.
Take care of it.
Actually, I talked to Sam Hahn yesterday, and I think you guys are having it at Herrera's inside the Palms. I think that's where you guys are having your after party.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at, but our managers, I've turned down money for after parties because I said, well, if Urijah's fine with it, I'm fine with it, and it's great for the story. It's great for the whole atmosphere of what we do. So
and that's a huge deal, Scotty. That you're willing to drop money, you're willing to give money away to hang out with your friends and a guy that you're going to compete with a couple hours before that. That's a huge statement for you as a person and as a personality that people don't really understand about you because you're not real vocal. You're not out there all the time in the press. You're not trying to blow yourself up. But you're a real gentleman that the fight world really doesn't have, and that's why this fight for me was a huge deal when it got signed, because it's two guys I really find that are real gentlemen that are still in the sport that will literally rip your arm off and take it home with them, but will take you to the hospital and sew it back on again. Like it's a real strange dichotomy that we don't have in the sport anymore.
Yeah, it's just a sport. And that's all I look at it as, and I go in there, I have fun, I choose to do this, nobody makes me do this, I have no animosity towards, 90% of the guys I fight, I go in there, I fight, when I'm done, it's over. I don't have to get hyped up and mad and angry and hate people to go and compete. I've competed all my life. I didn't ever have to get that way before, I don't have to do it now.
Tell the fans home at MMA Oddsbreaker, how do you break down Urijah Faber as a competitor?
This is different because since I started fighting and especially since I got in the WEC, I think I've been to every one of Urijah's fights since my first fight in the WEC, and I think vice versa goes the same for him. And so to break him down, I've seen everything. We've trained together. I know him. He knows me. There's not a lot more that, either one of us, especially with a shortened training camp, is going to go out there and learn. You can only learn so much in a short amount of time, especially when it comes to learning new techniques to implement inside a fight live. You got to be cautious with that, So with Urijah, I'm not focusing too much on what he does. I'm familiar with everything he does. I take this just like any other fight. I'm going in there to focus on what I need to do to win and how we need to win. And, just be aware of, some of the things that he does. The way he moves, the way he shoots, how often, how often does he take it? Obviously, his ability for, his submissions, specifically like a guillotine, rear naked choke, so we just got to be careful of things like that. We know they're there, but we fight.
Now, last time you and I spoke, you were training with Joe Warren up in Denver. How is it training with Joe Warren? He's so hyperactive, he makes me sleepy. He is just all over the place all the time. But as a coach, he's really good as a coach. How does he help you out?
Joe's there's two Joes, and I found when I first met him, and I started this was we're going on 4 years of being buddies and training partners. He's one of my best friends. We've been training together for that long, and the first few times I thought I can't get anything done. He's just a sparring partner, and then slowly you realize as I got more comfortable with him, and I realized give him 30 minutes of getting his sweat going, his heart pumping, and he gets in the zone. Yeah. You learn a lot from the guy. Once you get him in the zone, you learn a lot from him. But it takes a minute, and it keeps training fun, interesting. I love training with him. He's so knowledgeable, not just in because of what he's done in MMA, but what people don't understand is the wrestling that guy the knowledge that he knows about wrestling is unreal, and it's stuff that you've never seen in MMA, but he does it to me all the time in practice, and I sit back and I have to go back what are you doing to me here? And it's stuff you'd never think of, and so we've been working a lot on things like that, and it's he's got a knowledge of wrestling that not a lot of people will ever see. So
I spent 5 weeks with him down in Louisiana, and I have been wrestling my entire life. I consider myself still more of a wrestler than anything else, which is why my black belt is in catch wrestling, not in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because it just fit my style better from what I've been doing. And every day I was grabbing Joe and learning something new. Every day the guy taught me something new. I can only deal with him for about 5 or 10 minutes before he drives me crazy. But then, once I got him to slow down a little bit, no, show me again, Joe. Stop talking, show me again, Joe. Stop talking, Joe. Show me again, Joe. And then all of a sudden, oh, okay, this works. This works right now. Not something I have to work on for 6 or 7 months. It works right now. And for me, that was a huge deal. That was a really, really big deal. I really can't say enough about Joe, and I'm actually kind of excited. I'm going to Sweden tonight, but I'll be back for your fight. Specifically, I'm coming back. I was going to stay all the way through to the 14th, but I'm coming back early. because Joe's coming in town. I was going to watch your fight from over there, but now I'm going to watch it here because Joe's going to be here. I want to hang out with Joe after the fight's over.
Oh, yeah, he, and that's the thing about the techniques he shows. It's not like you have to learn some new crazy body movement. It's stuff for a wrestler that we've been doing for so long. It's a spin on it. It's simplified and it's to the point, and it works. And like you said, you don't have to work on it for six weeks or 7 weeks and perfect it. You adjust something you were already doing, and you've got it. So, that's the thing. A lot of the stuff he showed me 2 weeks ago while I was out there, it was just simple, basic stuff, and it's helped already. Even in practice, even in training, I was able to go back and do it that night, and it's going good. So.
Well, Sky, thanks for coming on here. I know you got a busy day ahead of you. I apologize for being late for our interview. I hate doing that, but my computer was on the fritz for a second. So, but good luck against Urijah Faber. I think it's gonna be a fight of the year. It's gonna be one of those fights. I tend to think that two wrestling friends tend to fight better than two enemies do. I really believe that. And I think you guys are gonna have the absolute best fight, and it will literally be one of the candidates for fight of the year.
Yeah, no, it should be, and it